Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Mighty Cast, or
Cast.
The very first official of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Yay!
Yay! Zero session notwithstanding.
Yeah, I'd ask for a recap, but that would sort of defeat the purpose of having had a zero session. So instead, let's dive into the story as we know it now. We're going to be covering Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden over the next several months or however long it takes to go through the book. We are in no way affiliated with Wizards of the Coast, just big fans of the product. So if you're interested in more information on Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, check out some other vids on the channel, or there will be links to the Wizards of the Coast site with the campaign info below.
So, Wizards of the Coast, if you are watching, we are open and available.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But let's get started in the icy north. Icewind Dale has become trapped in a state of perpetual winter. Ferocious blizzards make the mountain pass through the spine of the world exceedingly treacherous, and this land has not felt the warmth of the sun in over 2 years. In fact, the sun no longer even appears above the mountains, not even in what should be the height of summer. In this frozen tundra, darkness and a bitter cold reign as king and queen. Most Dale residents blame Auril the Frostmaiden, the god of winter's wrath. The shimmering aurora that weaves across the sky each night is said to be her doing a potent spell that keeps the sun at bay. Dale folk live in scattering settlements known as the 10 Towns. The drop-off in caravans coming from the south and travel between settlements in this never-ending winter has left everyone feeling isolated. Although each town has resolved to appease the Frostmaiden with sacrifices of one kind or another, no respite from winter's fury seems forthcoming. For adventurers such as yourselves, 10 Town is a place to test one's mettle, and in the spirit of heroes who have come before, leave one's mark on this frigid, blighted land. So, as a disclaimer going forward, there are 4 hours of twilight during the day, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and other than that, you are in a world of perpetual night. And starting that perpetual night, Hank, what are you doing?
I am hanging out in Tempest Tavern.
What's the name of the tavern, Hank?
It's called the Witch's Teat. And yeah, I'm probably just hanging out in a corner, watching if there's a crowd or not. Or I'm probably, I don't know, like 6 feet tall, pretty skinny, pale skin with almost like a little bit of a greenish cast to it. Black hair, yellow snake eyes, forked tongue, and yeah, pretty quiet, just hanging out.
What is your name?
Oh, my name is Nashazi, but I go by Z.
And also at the Witch's Teat, Helena?
Tending bar, a distinct and striking woman of about female tiefling, that is, with deep purple skin. She's 6 feet tall, stocky, strong looking, looks pissed, and is eyeballing some dirtbag looking fellas that are in the corner. If there are any. I mean, she's eyeballing anybody who looks like a dirtbag.
She's got an eye out, ever watchful.
Her name, Tempest Tides.
Jake?
At the bar, keeping to himself and pondering the meaning of life and the meaning of purpose and direction, you'll find Altus Mendax, the half-elf being, the male half-elf at the bar. Shaved sides, hair combed back, probably hasn't been washed in a long time, but looks good for not having been washed somehow. Some glasses hang low on his nose, and doesn't seem rather approachable, but would happily talk and carry out a conversation. Just might not initiate it.
I was about to announce your class, but I guess we haven't gotten there yet. Mark?
Yes, sitting on the opposite side of the bar, distinctly not asshole-ish. He is Finnick Dolvig is sitting up in a corner with two tables between him, waiting for patrons to come in to request him to work his magic, to do identifying objects or detecting magic on anything. Business has been pretty bad lately. Everybody's pockets are pretty tight. Finnick himself, a large man, stocky, but malnourished, looks like. So he's very thin at this point. Long white hair, which is pulled back into a braid, and long white beard coming down to maybe mid-chest. Unkempt, just kind of flying everywhere. Reading a book and kind of scribbling notes into a notepad.
The doctor is in 5 copper pieces. And last but not least, Rio?
The door to the tavern busts open, snow billowing in, and a very, very, very wrapped up person and 3 sled dogs enter the bar. They kind of like start running around sniffing people, and he snaps his fingers and they go and sit by the fireplace. And then he kind of like removes his head wrap, revealing blue skin, cobalt blue skin with glowing eyes, bald head, short beard. And then he starts removing layers and putting them on a coat rack. And then you can see through the inside of his stocky-ish frame, kind of like his sister, white kind of like arcane sigils that he still hasn't figured out what they say, glowing through his like thinner like inside shirt. And he calls out, "Sister!" to Tempest, and that is Tranquil Tides. And he
Brother! I roll myself over the bar and embrace you.
I do kind of like that like pick-up thing. We spin for a bit, but you're much stronger than me, so I put you down quickly.
And then I pick you up and I spin you around.
I kiss you on the cheek, and then I walk over to G and I go, "Hey, babe, how's the ice collecting? I mean, there's no plants, so I don't know what you do all day."
I mean, there's still some plants in the forest, but I mean, yeah, mostly ice. How's
give him. There was not much. Apparently, everyone has given up on us. Kiss him on the forehead in per the conversation we had about public displays of affection previously. And then I move over to, as I walk past Altus, I kind of give him a slap on the back, but don't say anything.
Put my drink up, back to my drinking and pondering.
And then I move straight over to Finnick, pull a rock out of my little pack, and is like, "Is this magic?"
I'll kind of point towards the sign.
All right. I was giving it to you, but I guess I'll just leave it here. If you're not interested, if it's magic or not.
If you're giving it to me, I guess I'll take it. And then I'll take the 10 minutes to ritually cast Detect Magic on it.
It is a rock. It's a really pretty rock.
As he's going through the ritual, I tell him this whole story about how there was 3 squirrels standing around it and a single shaft of sunlight broke through the clouds upon it. So it must be the secret to breaking this winter.
It's black and smooth as if it was worn by the river, with a vein of ice waving its way through the center, almost see through the rock. But it's
Okay.
just a rock.
I'll drop it on the desk and say, "Gods, what did you find? I've never seen magic like this before."
Is it cursed?
"No, Quill, idiot. It's a rock." And I'll throw it across the side.
As it hits the stone floor behind you, the ice in the center shatters and it breaks into two pieces. Much less magical now.
From the bar, I shout, "The work of Tyr!"
I shake my head. It's really no.
I didn't realize.
You really should be able to define things as magical at this point in your teachings.
You know I can't figure out ritual spells. You know that.
We'll work on it more.
It's so hard to focus for 10 minutes.
I mean, you
Well,
guys have been
since you
working
didn't bring
together.
me anything... Go ahead.
I mean, you guys have been working together 3 years. Maybe it's the teacher's fault at this point.
I start laughing hysterically in the corner.
I take offense to that. Quill, I think you need to buy me a drink.
All right. Hey, sister, can I have a free drink?
I give you both drinks.
There you go, master.
I'll tip my drink to you, Tempest.
You've been having to break out some of the worse ales lately, just because mead has not been flowing like it normally does. You're still getting shipments, but it's pretty mild, so these free drinks are starting to go bottom of the barrel. The bar itself is pretty close to empty, being that we're in mid-morning right now. All of you and then the dirtbags in the corner that she's been keeping an eye on are pretty much the only people there. This is one of the only times of day that those of you that were approaching the bar saw that there's some activity throughout Bryn Shander, as this twilight hour allows people to have a little bit more of a feeling of normalcy, and they get about their day-to-day business back and forth, hustling between buildings, trying to stay warm. And as you throw back these terrible, terrible ales, the door flies open again, more of the ice coming flying through as the wind blows outside, and a dwarvish figure comes in and struggles and slams the door behind her as she begins to doff her winter attire. An elderly dwarf is revealed and comes up to the bar to order whatever mead you have left.
Do we know her? Like, is she an outsider? Or?
It's a community of 1,200 people, so you've probably seen her, but not like in a familiar way.
I go over and sit on G's lap in clear violation of the conversation we had before my last trip.
Like, pat you on the back and then like just kind of accept it. And... Hi.
Look, babe, I got bad beer. Here, have the rest of it.
I sniff it and then set it on the table.
I approach the new customer. Good day to you. Would you like a drink?
If you got any mead left, that'd be great. Whatever you have available. Just none of the ale, please.
That's a good choice.
Old woman's bones can't take that anymore.
I understand. Here is our delicious mead. Sorry. How are your travels today?
It's a little... feeling a little wary as we're approaching halfway through the month here. There's... I don't know if you've noticed the pall that's kind of weighing over the city as a whole. Feels like something's off. Have you been following the murders?
Murders?
I don't know of any murders.
Oh, keeping your head under a rock in here. It's been the talk of the town for a while now.
I mean, I just got back from Targos myself, so...
Within the last month alone, there's been 3 murders in the 3 largest cities up here. There's one here, one in East Haven, and one up north in Targos.
Well, to be honest, we try and keep away from most of the rest of the village because the news is never good, as the example that you're giving us right now.
She bursts out laughing. Well, personally, I admittedly tried to do the same as another not local like yourselves. She kind of looks each of you up and down. I usually try to avoid all the riffraff of the folk up here, but this one just caught my eye.
I'll have you know, I was here for last spring.
Oh, well, then you've been here longer than I. Congratulations for enjoying this desolate wasteland.
Yeah, this very dapper gentleman, older gentleman, offered us when we were living in Luskin. He was like, I know of a great place where, that's where I'm from, and it'll be amazing, and you'll learn magic, and it'll be great. And then we spent, the next 2 years in eternal winter that we can't escape forever.
Still convinced you did it. In the corner. Still reading my book.
So it sounds like all of you are probably too busy to help an old woman out.
I mean,
Not necessarily.
The mail has been kind of light lately, and I do have to continue. I mean, my tenant hasn't paid rent in like a month because he's a layabout who doesn't do anything.
Altus puts his drink down. The work is light, the hope is sparse. I do what I can. Now, I turn. We'd be more than happy to help. What ails you?
As long as old ladies are paying, we're more than happy to help.
She reaches behind her back, pulls a battle axe off of a carrier and slams it down on the bar and turns over to the dirtbag sitting in the corner. You lot, out! And seeing the display of force, they kind of scuttle out of the room, all of them not even having unbundled as they were hoping to just steal whatever drinks were left over, huddling out into the cold.
I reflexively start wrapping my rope around my arm when she takes out her weapon.
Well, now that we're in more comfortable company, she looks around as the bar is now empty. She pulls out a sack and sets it down on the bar next to the axe. It jingles with coin.
Immediately go to put my hand over it but nobody else can grab it from her because she hasn't said anything yet.
So I still have my detect magic up for 10 minutes. Do I see anything on her that emanates magic?
Nope. Just a normal battle axe wielding old dwarven woman.
Okay. I'll step away from my office and come up to the bar. That's quite impressive voice you have there. So, what is this job you're looking to thrust upon us?
In Infernal, I say to Tempest, keep an eye on that bag. Tier boy can't hold it forever.
I whisper back in Abyssal to you, don't be an asshole.
I don't speak Abyssal.
You said Abyssal.
I said Infernal.
Oh. I'm completely deaf. I'm so sorry.
Well,
Just nod at you.
I think that all the murders are connected.
Do you think there's a serial killer out in the winter storms running around 10 towns killing people more than the people of 10 towns?
I mean, it seems like a good locale for it. Nobody's going to be looking around. None of the city lords have even been bothered by it so far. The speakers of the council are ignoring the whole thing as daily business. I just don't think that it is. They've all been killed in similar ways, with slash marks found, but no weapons, no trace of metal, nothing that you'd normally see in this kind of setting. And I have a bit of a past in these kinds of things, but I'm feeling it a little bit too heavy in my bones to try to go after this one on my own.
So do you have somebody in mind, or is that going to be part of what you're paying us for? Because
no, I have
investigation.
someone in mind.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Mm.
I only have one suspect so far, but I feel strongly about it. There's a human, I believe he might be half elf. I'm not quite sure. I haven't gotten too close of a look at him yet, but Cephik Caltro. He travels.
Are the worst.
He travels with a trading company of merchants that go from town to town selling wares. And from what I can tell, they've been in each of the towns that the killings happened in, and they've been the only oddity of the days. I know that the company's called Torgs, and I know that it's run by a crooked dwarven woman named Torga. But where they might be today is a little bit hard to find. I haven't been in Bryn Shander in at least 2 days. 3.
The victims, any patterns, similarities?
This is where I suppose it gets a little complicated.
Can I make a perception check to see how much gold is in that?
Sure.
I closed my stupid character sheet.
Can you
I'll do it
spell
in-
that name for me? Sorry. Suffolk.
Sephek. And he works for Torga Icewind, Torrga.
Can I do an insight check on her?
Sure.
Dirty 20.
Totally telling the truth. Yes, this is... She... It seems like she's not necessarily as morally interested in this as she may be letting on. Maybe more that she's just kind of bored, and this was something that got her interested that she wants to try to figure out. More as like a mystery than like righting the wrong, but definitely telling the truth.
So I got a 21.
Okay. You can tell that it's definitely somewhere around 100. Whether that's gold, silver, or copper is yet to be seen, but there's around 100 coins in there.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that connects them all is that they come from the only 3 towns that are sacrificing people to the Frostmaiden on the nights of the new moon, which is apparently what passes for civilization out here. But
don't get me started.
I theorize, based on the economic status of those that were removed, that they perhaps found a way to keep their names out of the lottery. And this is some sort of sick way of balancing the scale that he's found.
Maybe I shouldn't ask this question, but what's wrong with that?
Oh, I mean, I disagree with the whole system. But it's still a murder to kill somebody. I mean,
true enough.
And I can tell you from personal experience, dying sucks.
She
Pat you on the back
looks
again.
you up and down a little more closely.
I'll say enough in Infernal.
I flash all of my runes and eyes a little bit brighter.
I am willing to pay you 100 gold pieces to apprehend him and ascertain whether or not he's guilty.
So that means you have 2 coin pouches.
2.
No reason.
If
So-
you're interested in it, when the job's done, come back to me and I'll make sure that you get paid as long as it's done to satisfaction.
Let's speak about a bit about the intricacies of this deal. So you say to bring him back. I'm assuming you want him alive.
I don't really care whether he lives or dies if he's guilty.
Okay.
But you want proof
So-
of his guilt.
First, we must.
Who is passing the judgment?
Well, I've
he's-
gathered what information that I can. If you all can find some more information that shows that he's guilty, then that's up to you.
And
Don't worry, he does this kind of stuff for free, so you don't have to worry about him.
So we find significant evidence pinning these murders on him. Then we either have our way with him or bring him back to you, and we get our 100 gold.
Yes.
Or
Okay.
we put a dagger in the back of his neck and we call it a day.
And
If he's guilty,
if
I'm
we
fine with that as well.
And if we find he's not guilty, do we still get the gold?
Sounds, based on your words, that sounds true.
I personally don't see that as a possibility, but I'd say if you find that he's innocent, then I would still pay you 75. It's a lot less
Not a
work
bad
for you to
deal.
do if he's innocent.
Not a bad deal at all.
Mm-mm.
We could buy some stuff from Goodmead, get the bar popping again.
So
And where
are
you
interested?
stay, the last place you've seen this man.
Last place that I'd heard of him being was in Brynchander. Beyond that, I'm not entirely sure. He travels with Torga as her bodyguard for her market, as they call it, although those are no dwarven wares she's passing along.
I hop up of G and take her hand.
She kind of gives you like a look as she allows you to. Her other hand going down to a hand axe that's at her side.
As she does that, I pulse energy through my rope, but I still shake her hand. So there's like kind of like dark energy flowing through the rope around my arm.
Are you shaking on it? Is that what you're trying to do here?
Yeah, I'm taking her hand and shaking it. I'm sorry. You guys can't see my hand.
She slides her hand up to clasp your forearm, and it's a real hearty like shake.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like you got a deal as far as I'm concerned. Everyone else in this room doesn't necessarily need to be involved. Me and my sister could take care of it, probably.
Sounds like I just found a way to
volunteer
pay
your
my
time.
rent.
I agree.
Pay my rent for the month. Sounds good.
Yes, if you help us with this, we'll consider your share payment for the month.
That's not what
I
I,
don't really
said.
care how y'all split it up as long as you get it done.
How do we
Now,
get in touch with you?
I live here. I can come and check in the bar. If you make it out of this alive, I don't think it'll take you too long. And if it does, then you're not what I was hoping you were from reputation.
We have a reputation?
Travelers, odd outlanders, strange happenings. You don't have
tell her,
an Asimir, a tiefling, a snake man, and a wizard, a cleric all together and have no one notice. Not
What's an Asimir?
You.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell her. I'll tell her as long as you stay around the bar, and then I'll message her. We'll find a way to communicate with you.
Haven't got the little head tucky since I was back down south. Whew, brings back the memories. She downs the rest of the mead, sets down the cup, pulls another pouch out, drops the silver. Another one, please, before you go.
Serve it to her.
I shake out my arms and, getting the incantation completely wrong, cast Mage Armor on myself.
Witnessing this, I'm gonna head palm and I'm gonna go back to my makeshift office.
I like pat your arm and like attempt to correct some of the words that you said wrong.
It worked, didn't it?
Well, then I'm just like, but never mind.
Those are the words that Finnick taught me. I did them right. You are incorrect. So we're heading to the market then?
We're heading to the market. Or we're heading to where we could find them at a market, presumably.
Yeah, we're going to where Torgs usually is.
Do we close the witch's teat or wait for the other bartender to show up?
Or do I have to stay?
I mean, I would say that with the size of the tavern, you're probably never there alone. So.
Okay. Since it's slow, I think, yeah, we would assume I would just leave.
Hand it to the bar
Early.
back.
Your barmate, another dwarf. It's a very like dwarf like
We're
popular
not
bar.
recording.
We are recording.
Oh, we are.
It's a very dwarf popular bar. Just kind of gives you a little bit of a huff as he cleans out another one of the tankers and sets it down heavily. And it's like, sure, whatever you need.
Hey, I remember last week someone had a bathroom emergency. You owe me.
I lean over the counter and kiss the dwarf on the forehead and say, "Thanks, bud."
He goes red, goes, he leans over the counter again, then you already got the debt repaid.
As he starts
He will cover
angrily
the rest of your shift.
doing whatever he does, I lean over and if you need any help, need anyone to talk to, I'm always here for you. And
To convert you to his religion.
No, if you just need
To learn more about Tyr.
Redder. Tempest, if you don't take them out of here now, you will owe me.
Just start shooing you out.
Bye, sweetie. See you later.
You just hear the tankard slam on the top of the bar as he grabs another one to start cleaning.
Flick
I
my
make sure
tongue
my
as
drink
I
is
walk by.
finished.
Darren, Eugene, Ferris. Huh! And the dogs come and mill with us.
As you open the door, you're immediately hit with that blast of below zero wind that never seems to fully let up. The outside as bright as it's going to get as you're approaching noon now. In the center of the city, not too far from the Witch's Teeth, there is an open air market that is still mostly functional.
I reach over and cast light on Finnick's. Do you have a staff, Finnick?
I do not have a staff, no.
Okay, so I cast light on something so that he can see, because I feel bad for the poor human.
Twilight, so he is able to see still.
I know, but I do it anyway. He's my master. I want him to be able to see stuff.
The market is as bustling as it's going to get. There's maybe 6 people walking between stalls as the bundled merchants sit behind their encampments with as much of it closed in as possible. You can see smoke coming out of a few of the tents as people have set up little stoves and whatnot underneath to try to keep warm while they're keeping themselves open. A lot of the stalls are empty. It's shrunk a lot from what it was back when there were seasons.
Man,
she
do you
kinda-
remember?
Go ahead.
Man, do you remember that falafel stand they used to have here? It was so good. I miss it every day.
Remember when we lived in Luskin and the temperature wasn't negative every day? Remember that? Before we were kidnapped by a cruel taskmaster who took us away to the frozen north?
Yeah, it's true. Remember when you were urchins on the street and not working in a bar? Yes, I remember that too.
I like it here.
I do too.
It's no Neverwinter,
Yeah.
but
It's
it's nice.
Tranquil,
Technically,
Tranquil
always
shoots
winter.
you. Tranquil shoots you a knowing glance as he bundles up closer to himself.
yeah, it's nice here. It's home. Not as cold as it has been when I grew up here, but still a little bit of nostalgia walking through the street. So
Well, maybe someday the great and mighty Tyr will bring the sun back and bathe the land in his holy radiance and light, bringing justice to the people and bread for all the babies and 2 horses in every stable, you know?
there are no gods here.
That brutal oral.
Your poor cleric following behind.
I cast Thaumaturgy and I make the ground under Tranquil shake with tremors as he's saying this.
Look, I fall to the ground. The great Tyr has been angered. Oh, save me, oh Lord. Lord, do not anger. And I shoot a look back at you and go,
All right.
I visibly try to stifle a laughter, but I try to look angry.
What would you all like to do at the market?
We're looking for Torga.
Yeah, let's see if we can find Torga.
The description that the dwarven woman gave you is that she usually travels with dog sleds. So she wouldn't necessarily have a permanent setup like most of the ones that you see are. There aren't any of these that are looking temporary right now.
Okay.
Everything's staked into the ground.
Okay, so I use my urchin background to travel us twice as fast through the city to where the dog sleds are.
Where the dog sleds are?
I don't know.
I'll ask around a few people at the market and just let them know that we're looking to maybe ship something to another town, and we're inquiring as to where Torg is, if she can meet us at the Witch's Teat if they see her.
The first person that you ask, a human man, also bundled up with just his eyes visible, pulls down his scarf and spits on the ground. She's been gone for 3 days. 3 days, and I didn't want to hear her name again. And pulls it up.
Where did she travel to?
Give me an investigation, but you can use charisma as the stat.
Ooh,
I don't think that's better for the wizard.
that's horrible.
Can I help with that?
Sure.
$17.
I got 14.
Okay. With with the help of the snake man, who a lot of the merchants are familiar with, given that he brings components and things that are harder to find, he goes, so you're not with her then?
Of course not.
Oh, no. Honestly, we were hoping to put her head on a spike. Normal stuff.
I elbow.
You bring that witch's head back on a spike, I'd give you a 20% discount.
Mm-hmm.
Last I saw her,
The current rate for her head on a spike is 100 gold pieces, so I'll
It's
be
not
back.
her head we're going after.
I'll shoo Tranquil away. So you were saying, where did she go to?
she was heading out of town northwesterly, I'd say. I guess the road to Targos, but she's shady, so I'm not sure if that would be a place to stop. I've heard that.
I didn't see anyone back
she avoids.
Did I see anyone on the way back from Targos on the road?
No, it's been 3 days though. Targos is about 2 hours walking from Bryn Shander, 1 hour by a sled.
Okay.
Did she live with anyone?
Yeah, she's got her band of merry men with her, like always. She's got
Merry men, you
tall.
say?
Do they sing?
It might be a little more useful. They're just cutthroats now. She's got the tall one that doesn't wear a cloak, and then a few thuggy, bandity types.
Doesn't wear a cloak?
Yeah, the high elf with the spooky eyes. Sapphic,
What's spooky about him?
something. It's an S name. I don't know.
What's so spooky about him?
Avoid him. If you see him, you'll know what's spooky about him. He's got eyes the color of the lake. It's eerie.
I know, eerie eyes are so eerie as I blink my glowing white eyes.
And I blink my double-lidded snake eyes.
You were
I
both
cross
blessed
my
by
eyes.
gods. This thing is a little bit spooky. And the fact that he doesn't wear a cloak makes me
Agreed.
uncomfortable.
That's very weird.
But give my gratefulness to the gods that you both serve.
What's
Will
that?
indeed. Thank you.
Apologize
Will
if
indeed.
I gave offense.
I reach out and touch him gently on the forehead and say, "The morning Lord gives you the blessings to survive this long night."
Thank you. That's
You're welcome.
What?
I really needed that today.
Be well.
I think I'm gonna go home early.
Yes.
You
Think
deserve
of
I miss my wife.
think of your children or future children and ruminate on what you are doing for the good of Bryn Shander.
He reaches down as he starts to close things up and grabs a couple copper pieces, and he takes your hand and he puts them in and closes your hand. And
Thank you
the
so
Morning
much.
Lord. Thank you.
Yes. The Morning Lord shall use this to better the town.
I look at the shopkeep and I say, this one
I grab
is
both
the
sides.
absence of all that is good.
I
and
grab
holy.
I grab both sides of his face and go, "Oh, morning lord, this poor, cursed follower of Tyr who does not see the light and only seeks war and abandon, let his lying tongue lead us to this liar."
I
Oh my
slap
god.
my palm on your bald head, around, and start walking us away.
He quickly grabs a couple more copper pieces and takes Altus's hands and slides them in as well. And says, I want no trouble from Tyr either. Thank you. And
Yes, the great warmonger.
Oh god.
I'll look over to Tranquil and say, Quill, you will literally get smout by a god one of these days.
You were the first one to tell me that the gods are dead.
They're not here, but if we ever leave
They
this
still
final world,
exist.
Well, then I better get comfortable to eternal winter, because I would hate for a god to smote me, whatever that means.
Lots of fire from heaven down, crashing, burning, not good.
I'm much more worried about that guy's eldest son finding out about last summer, honestly.
is there anyone else we can talk to?
there are more stands in the market. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll go
Maybe,
to
or
the next logical one and ask if they have any more information on, like, when she left, when she'll be back, anything like that.
Sure. Yeah. Give me a perception or investigation, either or.
Natural one.
The first of the campaign.
Hooray! Mark, you win.
Couldn't happen to a better guy.
I win.
Oof.
I would just like to point out my perception check earlier. I didn't say it, but it was a nat 20. But
we got our
Sure.
first
Like, we
in the
believe
first
you.
round.
It's
Yeah.
21. I only have a +1 to perception. So if it's a 21, it's got to be a nat 20, right?
Right, but no, this campaign we're doing skill crits, aren't we?
Well, I forgot about that.
Finnick gets paralyzed by indecision.
What?
There's so many different possibilities and so many different things that you're seeing that there's just no way to pick which one would be the right answer.
Finnick, why don't we
Take 1
head
point
to
of psychic damage. Kidding, don't do that.
He's a wizard. He dies.
You know what? No. In the essence of my character, I'm going to use a luck point to reroll. Yeah.
Oh shit.
That is going to be a
2.
natural one. No. It's a 11.
Okay, with an 11, you would. The shops all look pretty dismal. Like, the wares are pretty. There's just not a lot to offer. You do see, as you're scanning from shop to shop, that there are open spaces between multiple of them. One of the spaces seems like the snow on the ground has been pretty disturbed.
Okay. Like recently disturbed, or?
Yeah, like not today. Like, there is some snow, but there's snow in the empty spaces between the other stalls is like a few inches high. I mean, it's several inches high.
Okay.
The snow here is pretty low, as if something took up that space.
Should we head for the north
Say this
gate?
to the group.
Oh, yeah. No, snow. It's weird. Snow's super weird, Master.
I'll say this to everyone else in the group.
Let's ask the neighbors. For any. Should we ask the neighbors of the stalls around if they knew of anyone there?
Well, we do
Or
know
who
that
was
she
last?
left. We know she left heading north. She would have to go through the north gate. So should we not ask the guards at the north gate if they've seen a spooky elf?
At this point, I'm wondering if the guards see anything ever.
How far of a travel is the next town that you went to?
An hour by dog sled, he said.
Yeah, if that man's right, it's an hour by dog sled.
Okay, but how about walking? Because I don't think Rio's dog sled can fit us all.
It can.
Walking
Really?
it would be 2 hours, but yeah, I should be able to hold all of you as long as you're not bringing a bunch of stuff with you.
Yeah, because that's why I got 3 dogs, so it would be enough for all of us.
Nice.
So,
We go to Torgus.
are you?
Yeah, heading to the North Gate and inquiring there, and then just heading to the next town. Yeah.
Okay. So the North Gate, or at least I say north, it's really northwest. That would be the most logical place to leave for Targos, is here. So you'd have to go out the North Gate and then the path would turn more northwest. The town, as it gets up here, gets a little bit more towards a slum. The buildings are more run down. You can see where instead of being patched with stone, people have just used whatever they can find to block holes. There's not smoke in as many chimneys, and the smoke that is there is a lot lighter. But it takes you, 10, 15 minutes to walk from the center of town up to the North Gate. It's not a large place.
When we arrive at the North Gate, I approach one of the guards. Are there guards on duty?
There's 2 guards, one on each side.
I take out the few coppers that the shopkeeper gave me, and I put it into the guard's hand. It's like, the Morning Lord needs your assistance.
Roll deception.
Sure.
That's
Do I get advantage because I'm an Asimir?
You don't get. I was about to give you advantage for being an Asimir, but you're bribing a guard. That kind of countered there, but you're not getting disadvantage.
I'm not bribing him. I'm giving him alms from the Church of the Morning Lord.
Churches usually take in alms. They don't give them out.
All right, that's 17 plus 5, so
Okay.
22.
Yeah, he kind of gives you a strange look, and he puts the copper back in your hand and pushes it back and goes, I'm a disciple of the Morning Lord. I'd be happy to help with anything you need. There's no need for payment.
But in these trying times, you could always use a few copper for your family.
Oh, no, please. And he reaches into his bag, takes out 2 more copper and puts them in your hand and goes, no, for the church. I know you do good work.
I will make sure that this gets to the right hands. But anyway, the Morning Lord has need of information. Recently, a follower of dark powers, a elf with strange eyes, has been seen around town. We have reason to believe that he is a danger to Bryn Shander and the 10 towns. Have you seen someone matching this description, traveling with a female elf?
Was it the individuals? Were they part of a caravan? Was it?
They were described to us as a band of merry men. Dog sled.
We don't get as many dog sleds as we used to, but I do know that there was an elvish man with strange, bright eyes, with a group of 3 sleds that left about 3 days ago,
Heading towards Torgos?
heading towards Targos. Yes, they were. I don't know. They were a strange bunch, but who isn't up here?
Thank you for your time. We will be heading that direction. Any news on the road?
Oh no, clear as always. It's maintained well to Targos. It's our sister city.
I take down, my head wrapping so you can see the full majesty of my Asimirness, and I put a hand out for him to put his forehead in.
He leans forward.
May the Morning Lord bless you, child, for this good deed you have done this day.
And he reaches up and places a hand on your forehead and goes, and bless you as well. May he follow you on your journey.
I flash my eyes brighter as if I'm being filled with divine providence, and then take my leave and start hitching my dogs to my dog sled.
All right. So, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm trying not to laugh hysterically.
I'm assuming at the back of the pack, just trying to keep cool and level-headed. Tranquil, are you doing that like past the gate? Like, did we go out a little bit and we're settling up?
I'm assuming that I would keep my dog sled near the gates because the roads would be narrower if it's a like northern town, right? Less to plow.
The grounds outside are pretty flat. It's just there's nothing really for the snow to accumulate against aside from the walls. So the rest of it is not super high. It's definitely smoother where the road itself is, but it's not like there's like walls of snow or anything.
I just figured my sled is somewhere near the north gate because I just came from there. So,
cool.
As Tranquil goes to affix the
Darren,
sled and everything and get ready.
Darren, Eugene, and Ferris.
That's what I said.
They have names. They eat at the dinner table with us.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that conversation. As Tranquil leaves to go affix those things to the sled, I'm going to pass by the guard and I'm going to slow down as I pass him. And in the name of Tyr, you should know you've been deceived. I appreciate your acknowledgement of the Lords, but in Tyr's light, I must let you know you've had the Tranquil experience. And then I'm going to walk to the sled.
Can you just give me a real quick persuasion roll?
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He was pretty bought in because Tranquil got a decently, I think he got a 17 there, 17 plus 5.
22.
Jesus.
Oh, I mean, I got a 6.
He gives you a kind of a strange look up and down and stands a little bit straighter, taps his spear into the ground.
Good day to you, sir. And then I'm going to keep on keeping on. I did what I wanted to do.
Did I hear this exchange?
I don't think so. I think that you're fair enough away to do the dogs if he's staying by the guard.
As Altus walks past me, I kind of bump him with my shoulder and go tattletale.
Do you expect anything less, Tempest?
I do not.
All right. Is there anything else anybody wants to do before you leave Bryn Shander?
I would like to point out to Jake that I got the information we needed, so...
By making a mockery of me and everything I believe in.
No, you believe in Tyr. You have nothing dealing with the Morning Lord.
It's still religion.
It's still a slight to
faith.
My devoted lifestyle.
Well, one of us is touched by the divine and the other one isn't. Don't be jealous.
Oh.
I'm not jealous of
shit.
your lack of divine. I live a great life.
One of us has glowing eyes and a bunch of like religious runes all over his body, and the other one doesn't. So
okay, so we head to.
Yes, I'm working on a map right now.
Got it.
We absolutely love using Roll20. One of the only problems is trying to switch between maps without your players seeing too much.
For anyone that's curious, the kind of conversation that was just happening between Tranquil and I is like normal dinner table stuff, like regularly happens. That's not us actually getting mad at each other. That's how we talk.
It's a character conversation, yes.
Yeah.
That's brunch topics, you know?
Episode 1, being portrayed by one of my closest friends. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
I could counter that with Episode 1, being made a mockery of.
I make a mockery of you every day.
This is hardly the first day.
How dare you insinuate this is a one-time thing?
I'd like to think that I use thaumaturgy so often that at this point when the ground just tremors, you're like, he's doing it again.
He's pissed. So coming down the road, it takes an hour. The road between Bryn Shander and Targos is very single tone. It's just field of frost as far as the eye can see until you get the walls of Targos in the distance. There's not a lot of cities or towns out here that it can afford to have walls or have the resources to have walls, but Targos, being one of the larger cities, aside from Brinchander and East Haven, can actually afford to have a wall, and so they do. The walls of Brinchander are higher and thicker, but the walls of Targos are still formidable. So as you are approaching from the southeast, coming up this road here, you can see the walls rising before you.
Glad they didn't flee to Dugan's Hole.
Oh, don't even bring up Dugan's Hole. most appropriately named city in all of Icewind Dale.
D-Hole, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that where you're from, Tier Boy?
Ooh.
How many? Neverwinter. Neverwinter.
Oh, sounds nice. It sure beats the hell out of Everwinter, where we currently live.
Someday I'll take you there.
Boot him
But
from the
not
stream.
until-
Boot him.
I would like to point out that I made that joke earlier and no one laughed either, so I don't feel bad anymore.
What are you planning to do at Targos?
Enter Targos and start asking around.
Okay.
I guess I'll just talk to the guards. I mean, I was here like 3 hours ago, so.
What's new?
Being a pretty recognizable figure, I mean, really, all of you are fairly recognizable figures, given the monotony of 10 towns. Aside from our more traditional folks, they remember you leaving. I mean, it's you don't see tieflings and Asimars and snake people going back and forth very often. And you're just coming up to the gate itself.
Hell.
How can we help you?
I wanted to ask you a question. About 3 days past, do you remember letting in a elf with strange eyes and a dwarven woman, accompanied by what could be described as merry men?
Nothing of the sort, no.
Nothing of the sort at all.
No, I don't think so. I mean, people come and go without me being the one here, but I don't remember any elven merry men. That's a bizarre description.
How
Yes,
about
I agree.
Torgs? Is Toga in? Is she doing deliveries here?
He and the other guard both burst out laughing. She knows not to come here.
Hmm.
We don't deal with that. That's
Can I make?
Mhm.
Can I make an insight check to see if he's lying or if he's trying to cover up for something?
Go right ahead.
17.
Also telling the truth.
Okay.
He it's definitely knows the name, but both of these guards hold disdain for whatever that operation is.
Well, the only
So,
other...
yeah, we know that she was going this way. So further north, maybe she went to
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline is the next town on the road. I mean, the turn for Tourmaline was a way back there.
Yeah,
Why
she was
don't-
trying to get up to Tourmaline. I don't believe we would have seen her. You'd have to. This is the only gate in and out of the town, unless you're trying to go out onto the lake. And
Why would anyone do that?
Why
Because
is,
it's
she,
eternal winter.
why is she blocked from this town?
she's not blocked from this town. She just knows better than to try and sell those wares here.
Why, and why is that?
She's a charlatan. It's nothing but pilfered garbage that she tries to hawk for twice what it's worth.
Understood.
Those who
Animals.
lie, they truly are the bottom of the barrel scum of the earth.
He gives you like the hell's wrong with this guy look. Sure, bud. Yeah. Lying is bad. Like, okay.
Yes. The Morning Lord teaches us this, yes.
Do I have to make like a
good
Constitution
God.
saving throw or something?
He just gets like a look as if he's smelled something foul and goes, okay, we're not doing that here either. If you're looking for her, she's not here. We're not dealing with some sort of pilfered religion from Bryn Shander. You can take it up to Tourmaline.
Very well.
You haven't heard anything about these murders, have you?
You mean the guy that died in the bar fight down at East Haven?
Is that what
I don't know if I'd call that a murder. He's not talking about the same thing, no.
Okay.
Good day, too.
So I kind of walk Altus away from the guards, and I grip both sides of his head as like, okay, God boy, shake out where she is.
Oh.
Like, ask your God or pray or whatever, because he exists totally, right? So he should be able to help us find this dwarf lady, right?
He's there when we need him the most. Otherwise, we look to him for guidance.
My dad,
Guidance,
too.
my child.
Yeah, my dad's always there when I've needed him.
I point to Finnick and I shout, "He's not your dad!"
No, I'm talking about my actual father who abandoned
You're
me
not
as a
my
child. How insensitive, Altus.
No, I'm never there for him, just to be clear.
I'm going to
Unless
turn
it's-
to Finnick. I understand why. I understand. And
Anyways.
I hands on Tranquil's shoulders. Let's get back to the matter at hand. We are judge, we are jury, and might have to be executioner. Are you ready for that?
No, totally no. Mm-mm. No, I could never take another human life. That would be wrong.
I'm just going to go back to cupping my hands and walk back to the crew.
How far is it to Tourmaline?
Let me tell you. All of that is available in the handy-dandy campaign guide. From Targos to Tourmaline is about 4 hours by foot, so it'll be about 2 hours by dog sled.
All right, Altus, so you're going to be walking, right? Because your God always provides for you when you're in need?
Give it a rest.
Oh, don't. Come on.
You guys ruin all my fun. You know that, right?
I mean, if you didn't do it every day constantly, then it would be funny. But by now, it's been 6 months.
Eugene...
I cop to that. I'm always trying to ruin his fun.
Eugene, even in his dog sledding getup, he kind of breaks out as far away as his harness will let him go, and he nuzzles up against Altus.
I definitely give him some good scritches and scratches.
I whisper under my breath in infernal betrayal.
The dog cocks his head back at the sled to Altus.
I go back and I grab a place on the sled.
Okay.
If it's possible, I'd like to just sit down and protest.
I call out in infernal to my dogs, one of you isn't getting a soup bone tonight.
They all together howl. In sadness.
I'm just kidding. I love you, babies.
They all, wagging tails, ready to go up, and now they're taut on the harness once more. Up to Tourmaline.
Up to Tourmaline.
The view here is a lot less generic and stagnant than the view from Bryn Shander up to Targos, as you are traveling along the actual coast of Mare Dualden here. As Tourmaline is the next largest city in that group of cities that are all around the bay. And within 2 hours, with it being clear, even though at this point it's back to being dark, it's not difficult to stay on the road itself following the curve of the lake.
I cast light on the dogs' harnesses so they can see in the dark.
Now everything can see you in the dark as well.
That's fine. Altus
Tourmaline,
is here. He'll keep us safe.
Tourmaline being a not as large of a city as Targos or Bryn Shander does not have its own wall. But it does have a fairly sizable dock. And as you get further from Targos, you finally reach a point where the lake is no longer frozen. And it actually is waters lapping up against the snow-covered shores.
Okay. Oriole's Teats, can we get into a tavern? We've been out here for way too long.
It's not hard to find if you're actually trying to get into a tavern. Are you going to? What are you planning on doing with the dog sled?
I figure since this isn't Bryn Shander, the roads are a little bit more accommodating because they don't have walls or anything. So I was just going to roll it right up to the tavern.
Okay. Do you want to tie it up or anything?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
And I take my dogs with me wherever I go because they're very well behaved.
Such good boys.
Ferris is a girl.
Such good dogs. There is, that there's an inn and a tavern that are pretty familiar. The inn is the east side up here, and then the tavern is the Blue Clam, which is over by the docks itself.
Well, Tempest, where has the best booze?
Well, I'd love to get closer to that water, so I'm down to hit up the Blue Clam.
Blue Clam it is.
Agreed.
As it is full dark now, there are some whale oil lanterns outside of the more well-managed stores. Tourmaline is clearly a wealthier locale.
Mm.
So,
Ugh, you smell the richies from here.
If they're a wealthier city, why is there no wall? Do they not need the protection? We just kind of strolled in.
Well, you see, Altus, sometimes disenfranchised people can't really get the gold together to build a giant stone wall because, it's for the good of the people, yes, but, there's poor people in the world and they don't always build giant stone walls to keep other people out.
I think he's inquiring that Tourmaline is more wealthy than the cities that have walls. So why haven't they built a wall?
Thank you, Finnick.
Because they're an
You're
open
welcome.
and accepting community, Master.
Okay. I walk past and go to the Blue Clam.
I follow Finnick.
Something that you've gathered in the time that all of you have been here, as all of you have been here for a little while now, just as attend towns, whether you've seen Tourmaline or not, you know that all of the towns are unique. They're all almost their own hive of
ecosystem
culture that's really related to the settlers that came to found them. And Tourmaline is no different than the others. You see a lot of wood carvings around doorways that represent wizards in the middle of casting that have homunculi and tigers in frames going over window sills, and even like a djinn, which is not something that you see up here. And it's all because Tourmaline was founded by Kalashite settlers, and they brought a culture with them and an appreciation for beauty in everyday things, and they brought that to the construction of the town. And the Blue Clam is no different. You can see the doorway itself is extremely ornate, although it's kind of worn by the proximity to the lake as the freezes come through. The wood was clearly originally built with a full storyline carved into it. It's populated primarily by fisher folk, and is already at this hour, now that we're approaching about 5, 6 in the afternoon, which is midnight outside, loud and boisterous with people.
Before we get too much further, is it tourmaline or is it tourmaline?
I can double check the pronunciation, but it's named after the stone.
Okay.
Like
because I see Laine and I'm like, am I stupid?
It's another one that's not provided in the pronunciation guide.
Tourmaline it is. Get in the comments. Tell them I'm right.
Yes, as you get into the primary tavern in Tourmaline.
And it's super busy in here?
It's as busy as anywhere in 10 towns get. It's still not a big city, but it's one of the only taverns in this town. So yes, it's pretty crowded.
Well, Altus, I believe it is your turn to buy drinks.
It sounds like that is a proprietary belief of the Morning Lord. And then I'm going to walk away and just go up to the bar.
This place is filled with long hearths along 2 of the walls. And that's where a lot of the people are either at the bar or already taking a seat at the hearths. And all 3 of the dogs find a way to wiggle up between the benches and wriggle underneath people. And there's a few other dogs already here that are clearly sled dogs as they get close to the fire. And where were you going, Altus?
Just to try to find a spot at the bar. Just anywhere to call the barkeep to grab a drink.
Or everyone.
I'll follow him up.
I try to sleight of hand those coppers that Tranquil got earlier. I try to sleight of hand those out of your pocket or wherever you keep them.
It means I get a roll to resist, right?
So I need a perception then from Tranquil and a sleight of hand from Tempest.
12.
You got a 5.
You don't notice. Yeah, you got your 4 coppers.
Okay, and then I go up to Altus and kind of slide it to him from the bar.
Thank you, Tempest.
Where's my drink?
We're going. We're good.
I would like to find the most racist-looking fishermen and have a chat with them.
Yes.
So I think that would maybe be a little hard to discern. There are.
I'll make an insight check.
There's not a lot. So here's the thing about 10 towns as a whole. Because there's a lot of people trying to escape a past, a lot of people that come from various backgrounds that have landed them here for gods know what reason. It's hard to be a racist in 10 towns.
Everyone's
which is part of the reason why Tempest
here.
has done well here. It's like there's not a lot of people that hate tieflings because you're kind of all stuck together as living beings.
I would just like to point out both sides of my family are fishermen, so I disagree with that inherently, but
these are fishermen that have been through some crap.
Well, because think about it, this is where Driz set up his.
I'm teasing, guys. It's fine. It's fine.
This is a fantasy world. All the more reason to not have racism.
When the bartender comes up, I'd like to ask him a question.
This is another what's the word, illustration to what we were just talking about. A half orc walks over to you as he's sliding down clam chowder to one gentleman, filling up another ale. And what can I get you folks?
I'll have the lightest meat you've got.
I'll have the darkest.
Oh, you're a member of the clergy, aren't you? And he fills up a little ale.
I'll take any wine that you might have, and I'd like some information, if you've got any.
Wine and tourmaline. We've got a high roller up here. Does that right in front of you. You know, that's going to cost you a gold piece. And like the people around at the bar just burst out laughing. And
I'll plop a gold piece on the bar.
What?
Fair. That's fair. Takes the gold piece, bites it, slides it into apron. Just a moment. Walks out from the bar, around to a closet, opens it, goes inside, brings back a bottle that has no label on it, and sets it down.
Blowing the dust off it.
Just wiping it on his shirt as he goes. I have a pewter or wood. He puts 2 tankards in front of you.
Definitely wood. Doesn't affect the flavor at all. And as for the information I'd like, have you seen Toga come through town at all in the last few days?
Torga.
Dwarven one?
She runs a company where she sells various wares throughout 10 towns. You ever heard of her?
There's several people that come through between us and Lonelywood. It depends on what they're looking for. Does she sell stolen goods?
Yeah.
Yes.
One could say.
Okay, yes. There's been a group selling questionable things in the market the last couple days here. Yeah.
Still in town?
As far as I know, I don't really get out into the market very much running this place.
Very good.
And not even breaking the conversation, reaches back, pours another glass, slides it down the bar. Is there anything else I can help you with?
That's it, and I'll take the bottle.
Well, and if you're bringing more gold pieces, feel free to stick around as much as you want. He goes back to serving the crowd.
Z, Tempest, anything for you guys?
Oh, sorry,
Offer to buy
pardon me.
drinks.
How rude.
That's okay.
Little
Tempest,
tusk
Z,
sticking out.
anything for you guys?
I order a drink, whatever you're having.
Yeah.
I will also sneakily put the wine in my cup back into the bottle and put that in my bag, because that's 1/10 of my wealth.
That's a what? Oh, Jesus.
Can you just for funsies, can you roll stealth for me?
Sure. That's all right. That's a 17.
Yeah, totally easy.
Okay.
I mean, everybody's so busy and he's in the middle of doing so many things that nobody sees it. The rest of you, he does the same kind of thing. He mostly is pouring mead. It's kind of the popular thing up here. As a couple ales are ordered, he does take a bottle from under the counter, pops it open on one of his tusks, and sets it down in front of another customer. He has to keep going back and forth between the bar and the kitchen as he's bringing out stews and chowders and things to people as they're trying to warm up at the end of their days. What's everybody else doing?
Can I talk to my fisherman?
Yes. I don't know. Okay, so there is a large man, and most of the people in here are in, like normal clothing at this point. It's very warm between all the bodies and the large hearths in here. And there is a very large, very poorly tattooed human sitting at the corner who looks like he's having a quiet but violent conversation with another half-orc.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
And they both turn at the same time and go, "What?"
I was wondering if you had any time to make some coin.
The human just turns the other way, and the half-orc goes, "Doing what?"
Well, you have 2 options. Either I can trick you with cards, or you can give me information.
Oh, I don't know if I like that bargain.
You make gold either way.
His friend, the human that was angry, turns around and claps him on the shoulder. Ah, you idiot, he's going to give you money. Like, you're an idiot. And they start to go back at their conversation again, loudly in front of you, both of them starting to shove back and forth.
All right, I guess I move on because they're ignoring me.
You can break them up if you want, but yeah, we can move on to a different group. I'm rolling for each of these people.
No, it's okay. I kind of like slam my hand down, kind of like booming the table a little bit with a cantrip. Like, if you gentlemen are finished.
Two more people turn around at the same time. Oh, what do you want?
Have you heard of Torga, the dwarven woman selling charlatan goods, and her spooky elf friend with the weird eyes?
She cheated me out of 3 gold.
Where is she?
Last I saw her, she was in the market, but I don't know if she's still there now. I mean, it's probably closed. It's 6 o'clock or so. He looks at the candles on the wall that are burning down.
All right, very well. And I'll slide 3 gold over to him. If you hear of her, look, and I kind of like unwrap so he can see me. Look for me and let me know.
Okay. Blue man. Got it. Blue. I can
and also
remember that.
Also, you two need to work out your issues. It's terrible to see those who love each other so deeply fight, especially in a public place.
Not mad, the half-orc says, and the human goes, I forgive you for marrying my sister, okay? And they both hug.
I kind of put my arms around them, hugging them too. It's like, see, isn't it better to come to terms? Just get everything out in the open. It's too cold outside to be fighting in the inn.
The human on the other side goes, it's just going to come back tomorrow. I wouldn't bother with those two.
And I turned to him and was like, did I ask for a pessimistic opinion?
What's everybody else doing?
I probably went over to one of the hearths and I'm chilling because it's nice and warm and I'm always cold.
All right, cold-blooded, got it.
I'm drinking at the bar, splitting my attention between Tranquil and this bartender.
I would have stayed at the bar with Tempest, not paying much attention to Tranquil, probably enjoying some relief while he's off pestering somebody else. Probably just observing the barkeep and observing the patrons along the bar.
What is everybody's passive perception?
11.
And
11.
15.
there we go. There's the wisdom character.
How do we figure that out again?
10 plus your perception.
Oh, it is 10.
Hell yeah, guys.
So, Altus, you are the only one that notices as at the end of the bar, another person walks up. It's less noticeable here than it was in, I keep wanting to say Ruby, but I mean Tempest's bar. But there have been people coming in and out this whole time, just with how busy it is and the time of day that it is. People are just getting off of their shift on boats and coming from the market even. And a humanoid figure with pale, almost green-gray skin and bright, piercing blue eyes has sat up at the end of the bar, dressed very stylishly, but no coat. He's starting to have conversations with the people around him as the bartender goes on serving.
Lean over to Tempest and, hey, Tempest, did you notice the one that just sat down? No coat. No coat at all.
Weird eyes.
Weird eyes. Not the same description, but...
We'll watch
But
him and
similar.
see what he does.
Don't tell your brother just yet, okay?
He's busy anyway.
No, seriously. For 5 gold, I can turn this rope into a metal chain. I promise.
If Finnick is next to us still or near us, I would also turn in and clue Finnick into.
Don't forget, Jake, you do have the message spell.
Same.
Oh, I do have the message spell. I would then message to Z of what would I say? Someone matching the description came in, no code at all and weird piercing eyes. Too much?
Are you good?
Okay.
I would probably finish my drink and then walk back to the bar and take a peek myself.
So now that the two of you at least have a good view of him, the way you tap Tempest as well, the three of you have a good view of him. It's clear that people didn't necessarily get the best description. He is a human, but everything else is right. I mean, like, he's dressed in a very tailored outfit that doesn't seem like it matches. It's not the wools and natural fibers that everybody else is wearing. Collared out, like almost what you'd seen in Waterdeep or Neverwinter, like very top of the fashion of the day for those of you that have been out of the north.
Hot
and
couture.
those eyes that are just, I mean,
Spooky.
They really are spooky. Here, let me give you a little.
Anything you show us, you got to show to the viewers.
That's what we are going to do. Playing with new toys. It's very exciting.
I probably kind of start to position myself near the entrance, just in case this guy tries to leave.
Excellent.
If I end up with the surprise condition, I'm going to be very upset with all of you.
Well, if you notice me moving across the bar, maybe I give you a look.
Do I notice? Oh, those are spooky.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm kind of into it.
Okay.
You are spoken for, sir.
And that is where we'll take a brief pause. All right. So him sitting at the end of the bar, you've let a couple people know, and he just seems to be having a grand old time. He's ordered rounds for the couple people around him as they begin merrymaking.
I probably message Quill, and I'm like, hey, don't stop what you're doing, but guy that we're looking for is at the bar.
Can I make a playing cards roll to see if I get any money out of these fishermen?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
That's with proficiency, right?
Do you have proficiency in a playing card from being an urchin?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so that's... And then is there an ability score that you want me to use, or...?
With those, I thought it was like a dex thing or something, right?
Yeah, that's fine. So that's going to be 20.
Yeah, the 3 gold that you gave him, you get right back.
Them the cards, my son. I can't help it. Blessed by the gods.
That sucks.
Let me buy you a drink, though.
Oh, okay. And the half orc, that's his brother-in-law, just is laughing his butt off at the whole thing.
I buy my new best friends a drink, like waving down a barmaid. I'm assuming they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's busy enough.
But I pay coppers, not gold pieces. I'm not like Finnick.
Okay, so that'll be it's depending on what you order them, that's going to be a few copper. I mean, it's not very much.
That's fine.
Okay. So we'll say 6 copper total, 2 for each of you.
Okay.
And I believe G, you said you messaged Tranquil?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't respond because I'm in it. So
the rest of you? I think everybody knows now.
Yeah. Can I make a perception check to see if I can overhear what they're talking about? If I hear any mention of Torga or anything?
Sure.
I got my own dog's names wrong. It's Davis, Eugene, and Ferris, not Darren.
I mean, we wouldn't have known. It could be Darren now.
Yeah, you did
But I
that
put
one
it
yourself.
I put it in my notes, so it's gonna be Davis. So
That's a 10 for my perception check.
You can't make out like real set words. There's a lot of them all leaning together and him saying a few things, and then they all burst out laughing, and then he orders another round. Like they're pounding the stuff back.
Hank, you messaged me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have
Finnick,
a plan.
what do you think?
I have a plan if no one else does.
You're off by yourself, and I'm quite enjoying it. Finnick,
I thought you were
Finnick,
going
what
to
do you
talk
think
at
it-
him.
What did you say? Sorry.
what,
Oh, I just thought you, Quill, were going to talk at him. What plan do we need to?
I mean, that was part of my plan, yeah. But I was just told by Jake that I should stay away. So
I will cast Detect Magic as a spell. Are they holding anything magical?
Sephic is lightly glowing just entirely. No individual thing on him.
Okay. I'll message everyone individually saying that, and then saying I don't see any magical weapons on any of the merry men that he's with. It's kind of disturbing that he's glowing. So if we are planning to attack him, just know that.
And I will clarify from what Altus originally saw, those are just random people at the bar.
Okay.
With him. It's not like
So
they
it's
came
not,
in
it's
together.
not his people. Okay.
Just
Okay.
random people.
Could I make an Arcana check to see if he's like using disguise self or something?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. I'm down with that.
It's going to be a 13.
As far as you can tell, that's just him.
Just him. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's not clear. He's not exuding that aura from like a disguise spell.
Yeah, I'll let everyone know that.
I'll respond in one of my messages is like, should I talk to him?
Wouldn't hurt. Yeah, I mean, he seems like he's in the middle of enjoying himself, so.
All right, so I'm going to approach the not elven ice blue eyes guy and putting on my best drunken stupor. Your friend scammed my friend out of 3 gold pieces. And you got a lot to answer for, buddy.
Roll performance.
Cool. That is a 17.
He kind of takes you in for a moment and then goes, "Would you like another round? I'd be happy to accommodate if that's something you'd be interested in."
I think that you should be buying my green friend another round.
Well, then bring your green friend over, but the act is not necessary. And he turns back smiling at the other two. Although why you'd want to appear drunker than you already are is beyond me.
So I'll instantly sober up. It's like, that's because I need to talk with you. Would you like to come outside?
It's a little late, but if you are interested in talking, I'd be happy to do so. Gentlemen, please keep my seat warm. I'll return post-haste.
Don't worry, sir. I can see in the dark.
I am unsure how that will help either of us, but congratulations.
Yes, it is something that I was born with.
All right. All right. I assume this will just take a moment, and he begins to walk towards the door with you.
From over his shoulder, I make eye contact with my sister, and like a gentle.
So I go out the door in front of them.
As they're moving to the door, can I get up from my seat, walk over, and kind of go past Tranquil? And as I do, like put my hand on his shoulder and say something like, "Don't screw this up," and cast Bless. Or not Bless, I'm sorry, Guidance.
So are we outside now? Me and the guy?
Yeah. Did you go alone?
I mean, my sister's out there.
Okay.
I would give it maybe 2 minutes, then I'd walk out as well.
Did you take anything with you? Did you?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Did you take off your coat and whatnot when you came in?
Oh, I would put my winter clothes back on before I asked him to go outside. But
okay. He patiently waits by the door while you do that.
When we get outside, I manifest my chain. So there's this big, gnarly Shadowfell blade hanging out of my sleeve. And I go, "You are associated with Torga, yes?"
She is a fair master, of course, yes.
Yes.
I am her bodyguard.
The people of Torgos have issue with your master. Take me to her.
You want to see Torga right now. You're going
Yes.
to ruin my evening to talk to her about something she's already aware of and doesn't want to deal with.
Yes. I'm sorry. Was that not clear when I asked you to step outside? That I was going to ruin your evening?
I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. She's down for the night and she's resting and I'm not going to bother her. But if you would like to talk to her at the market tomorrow, you're more than welcome to. And he goes to step back inside.
I snap my fingers for my sister.
I hold him by the shoulder. I put a hand on his shoulder. Ooh.
What do you think you're going to accomplish by talking to her about not wanting to be in a place?
She needs to answer for the things that she did. Are you
What
not
did
aware
she
how
do?
Are you not aware how justice works? If you're willing, I know a guy inside who talks for hours about it.
Please, let's.
Well, but you're going to take us to Torga.
Oh, no, I'm not. No.
All right. Well,
3
I
murders.
don't know if you understand how employment works, but I work for her, and I will not piss her off in the middle of the night for no reason.
3 murders happened recently. What do you know about that?
What do I know about that?
we have reason to believe that Torga is involved. Is
Oh,
that?
she's not.
Oh. I'm so glad that we have your word on it.
Oh, I committed all 3.
Oh, well, that makes this next part easy, and then I go to attack him.
Roll initiative.
Oh, damn. I got a 20.
19.
21.
I got a 19, 20, 21.
12.
Are we rolling initiative as well?
Yes, please. Everybody, yeah.
Okay.
Who was the 20?
No, Helena was 21.
Okay.
Oh, are people rolling in the thing? That makes sense.
Oh, I didn't see.
No.
I don't like doing that. I want to use my dice.
I'm using dice. I'm using pretty dice.
Jake, what was yours?
22.
And Mark?
4.
All right. Okay. And what were you doing? What was your first thing?
Attacking him
With your whip?
with my hell chain, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, should I do that? Okay, I'm sorry.
Hang on.
And I'll be casting Booming Blade with it if it matters.
Okay, go ahead. You are just right outside the tavern door right now. Beyond there is just the docks on the other side. So it's just docks, there, tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, that's going to be 18.
All right, that will hit.
Ugh. Sorry, I've never had to get a D4 out before, so I have to find one. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, they're so hard to get out of containers. Okay, so that's going to be 7 damage, and then he's cloaked in booming energy. And I attacked him from range, so if he wants to attack me, he has to move.
Okay. All right, that will bring us, because of the moment of surprise there, that will bring us to Altus.
I mean, I thought I was still in the tavern. Am I?
You do hear the booming
hear the
blade
commotion?
outside, yeah.
I'm gonna run out the door, and I'm going to assume Altus is gonna assume what's happening, and I'm going to cast Shield of Faith onto Tranquil.
Just as a point of order, Tempest probably has a lower AC than me.
Right, but I know you're the one instigating, so you're the one that's probably going to get hit.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, is that all on your turn, Altus?
Yeah, then I'm just going to try to gather out what else is going on.
Tempest.
Okay, so can we say my hand was still on his shoulder? Okay,
Yeah.
so I think I just try to like kick his knees to get him to kind of go down onto his knees.
Okay, so you're trying to knock him prone?
Yeah, is that just like a strength check or something different?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I also rage.
Well, it would be an athletics check, right? Like a grapple or something?
Yeah. I was going to lean into the DMs in the room.
So is it acro then, and I don't get advantage?
No, it's athletics is what I'm saying.
Okay, but so do I still get advantage because it's a strength check? Okay. Okay, so that's going to be 19.
He meets your 19, so you will take that then. You're both, locked in that attack, and we will move on to Tranquil.
Oh, me again. Oh, cool.
Yeah, you got your surprise round before this all started, so.
I will reach out with Shadowfell energy and say, suffer, and hex him.
Plagiarism.
I couldn't think of what else to say in the moment.
Copyright.
And there are no saves against a hex, so.
Nope. But I will curse his strength checks.
Okay.
I really need to get a bigger desk. 14 hit a guy with no armor?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And he is standing outside with no armor, no coat, no nothing.
Yeah. Which is weird.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so that time it's going to be 5 plus 4, 7. No,
7
9.
damage?
I'm sorry, 9 damage. 5 plus 4 is 9.
Okay. Excellent. And is that all you can do?
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Excellent. We're on to G.
It's
Still inside, I believe.
Just, I'm going to run outside. Also, DM, if you would message me back.
He has to run 2 different screens.
3.
Leave the man alone.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm just going to run outside and that'll be my action.
Eventually, the audience will find out what that was. And that'll bring us to me. You see, he looks like he took the blow, and all of a sudden he starts to glow very faintly and almost looks rejuvenated as he smiles at Tranquil in front of him and draws a longsword from his side.
Where did he draw that longsword from?
An 18 hit you?
Just barely.
That is... You take 8 slashing and 7 cold damage.
Whoa.
Okay, well, I'm down.
It came out of nowhere.
I'm at 0 HP, and that almost killed me in one shot because we are level 1.
He then does a 14-hit Tempest.
It meets my...
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Wait. You said 18?
Yeah.
I have
You
Shield
the
of Faith.
+2.
I have Shield of Faith. It did not hit me.
Okay, so he pulls a blade made of ice and tries to slash it across to you, but it hits the shield and does not go through. And then he pulls an ice dagger and tries to stab Tempest behind him. And did a 14 hit you?
Yes.
Okay, that is 6 piercing and 5 cold.
Okay, so I am going to have the first one, and then the second one, do I disregard or?
Yeah.
Is it
Oh, no, you
resistance?
have it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that'll be 5 damage total for you. As he feels that it didn't hit the way that it should, he looks at you over his shoulder and smiles and whispers, "Sister." And that'll bring us to I'm losing my names. It's day 1,
Me.
folks. Give us a break.
That's me.
Yes. Finnick.
I will rush out of the bar, seeing this scene unfold in front of me. I will see if I can get my distance from the scene and cast. I'll cast Ice Knife on other guy.
Okay. And is that a save from me?
Spell attack.
Okay, go ahead.
That's not going to hit. That's a 9.
That's not.
Okay. So whatever it hits into, 5 feet within that, people have to make a dex save throw or take 2d6 cold. So
Okay,
I don't
so
know
we'll have
if
to make
it
that
whizzed
as well.
past him wherever it actually struck people within the 5 feet.
So I need Tempest and him to make the deck save. $14.
9.
9 doesn't. 14 does.
Does he
That's
take half or
what we
none?
wanted.
No, he doesn't take half. So that's 10 points of damage. So, but you reduce that by half, right? Because it's
5
cold
for
damage.
Tempest, yeah.
Yeah.
And he sees the ice knife miss, doesn't take the damage from it, and just starts laughing. What did you all hope to accomplish here? And that'll bring us back to Altus.
Apparently we're gonna die.
Tempest, how much have you taken? How much damage have you taken?
10. But if you want to try some diplomacy, I don't know.
He openly admitted to murdering people, so I don't know what diplomacy's gonna do.
Okay. All right. Well, just kill him. Okay. Or die trying.
Maybe stop him from killing us.
Yeah, so Altus is going to get his hands ready, thinking that he's going to cast a spell, and he's going to kind of analyze the situation, and as he does that, he's going to pull out a rapier and go for an attack on the creepy-eyed guy.
Okay, go ahead.
And I assume a 10 does not hit.
No, it does not.
Well, first level spell slots make you think differently. So
That'll bring us to Tempest.
Okay, well, I'm going to try and hit him with my great axe. And that is going to be, oh, God, an 11.
Just misses.
Yeah.
He just kind of being weighted down by nothing. He just steps forward. Misses the swing.
Ugh.
Is there anything else you want to do with your turn?
Why did you kill those people?
We will start Tranquil's turn, and he just responds, because they cheated death. Why would you let them live? You are a daughter of my maiden. And Tranquil, it's you.
All right, but we were paid a significant amount of money to stop you from killing people. So could you promise us really would and maybe give us a hand?
I will kill whoever decides to cheat my maiden out of what she is due.
Can't argue with that. Booming blade again. To 15.
Hits.
Okay. Ooh, that's good. 7 plus 5, so 12 damage.
Okay.
Now he is wrapped in energy. It would be great if he moved next turn.
Okay. Is that all you can do?
I mean, I'm standing 10 feet away from him, so.
That'll bring us to Z.
So ignore what I did last turn, because it doesn't matter now.
No. Can we know then?
Nope. You'll find out eventually.
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 I'm
Linked for
gonna.
eventually.
We
Series
all
4.
drink.
That actually be really nice. I'm going to cast Firebolt. So
Okay.
I hiss my tongue at him and then throw a Firebolt.
Okay.
That's 21 to hit.
That'll definitely hit.
That is 8 fire damage.
Okay. As you basically burn through the back of his vest, he turns around, staring bloody murder at you, as if he's just livid by the idea of what you just did, and he is going to step towards you.
I run.
Wait,
takes
30
attack of
feet away.
opportunity?
I'm not up next to him.
How far away are you?
I was gonna say I was probably as far as I could be without.
Well, they are 10 feet outside of a door. So if you came out the door, you're 10 feet.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
There's no way for me to squeeze past.
Folks watching, we will generally have a battle map. This will be one of the few theater of the mind moments of the campaign. So both Tempest gets an attack of opportunity, Tranquil spell triggers.
Yeah. So as he steps away from Tranquil, he literally explodes with thunder damage. Oh, doing 6. I thought it was an 8 for a second. That's why I put my arms up in the air.
I got an 18 to whack him with my great axe.
That'll hit.
Yeah.
Because I was close enough to attack with my rapier, because I stepped forward to attack, do I get an attack of opportunity as well?
I would need you to be... Did you step forward last round?
Yeah, he stabbed
yes,
him.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would also
Okay.
you also get an attack of opportunity. Thank you for holding me responsible. I appreciate this, guys.
It sucks
be
because
honest.
I have a reach weapon, so he has to step quite far to get out of mine. But
It's a cost benefit.
yeah,
Okay, what do I got from Altus?
13 to hit.
That'll hit.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's a big dice.
I mean, no.
Not a big number though. 4 piercing damage as he steps away from me, going
Okay.
after Z.
He
hang on.
He
Helena has
takes-
damage too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I was supposed to be before because I didn't know
Either
if it was
way,
big to act.
you both hit.
Sorry. All right. 8 damage. Sorry.
Okay. As you both hit, he takes both of the blows, and you see the flesh like shave away as a stab and a slice hit him, but he is dead set on Z. And he steps forward and does a 12 hit, Z?
Yep.
That is 11 damage total. He does 8 slashing and then 3 cold in the same.
What are the rules for like epic death?
It has to be double your
Double
HP.
your.
Okay, I'm down, but I'm not. Okay, cool.
Not
As
dead.
you fall to the ground, he turns to the rest of you, his eyes like flaring with that ice blue as he steps back and makes a slash against Tempest. Does a 24 hit?
Yeah, I think so.
That's 8 slashing damage and 4 cold damage.
Okay, so 4 and 2.
6.
I am also down.
So yeah, 4 and 2. Okay. He turns to those of you that are still standing and grins.
Does he look like he's at all like phased by our attacks?
He is not happy. He is hardcore. Hardcore is not the right word, but he is bloodied for sure.
Okay.
And that'll bring us to Finnick.
Me. I am visibly shaken from what he said before about stealing, cheating death and stealing away from his maiden. With shaking hands, I'll raise up my hand and cast Firebolt on him and say, "Screw your maiden."
Use fire!
That is 19 to hit.
Hits.
Ooh.
Come on.
Set the blue clam aflame.
Come on, no whammies. No whammies, no whammies. 4 damage.
Ah!
Yeah, it hits him again in the shoulder and burns another hole through his vest and shirt, and now the eyes turn on you. And that will bring us to Altus.
As he
Hey, Altus, I call out to you. Watch after my sister. I'll get Z.
as he turns to Finnick, I'm gonna attack him with my rapier, and I'm gonna scream, "These are not your lives to take!" As I go to slice into him. And I assume a 7 does not hit.
No.
And then I will make an attack as a bonus action after using my attack action. And I can do that up to 5 times a day. Up to 3 times a day. So I'm going to do that for the first time. And that's a 22 to hit.
That will definitely hit. Just barely.
Ooh, and that is 9 damage.
Okay. Excellent. That'll bring us to, can I get a death save from Tempest?
Just a D20, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's over 10. Oh, it's an 18.
Nice.
1 success for Tempest. That'll
Yeah.
bring us down to Tranquil.
Okay, so he does not look good, right?
No, he does not.
Okay, so I asked the internet, and the internet said it would be your decision. So I need a decision from you. So green flame blade, after I attack,
Everything is my decision. Yes.
it says I do splash damage to a target of my choice within 5 feet of the target. Can I choose the original target?
No.
No, damn.
Not for splash damage.
Booming blade it is then. Because he has to walk towards Mark, so. Ooh, that is not great. 13?
Okay.
Hits? Okay. And that's going to be 4 plus 3, 7, plus another 3, so 10.
Okay. He is like using the ice blade to hold himself up at this point, but he still is staring daggers at Finnick. And that'll bring us to Z.
Death saving
Death save, please.
throw.
Shit, I should have used my Hexblade curse on him. Damn it.
17.
Have you been rolling your hex?
Yeah, I've been rolling it with
Okay,
the damage.
good. Awesome. Thank you.
But I have an additional curse that I can use once per day. So.
Okay. What's the number?
17.
Okay, you're good. All right. One success. We have one success from Tempest and one success from Z, and that will bring us down to him. And he takes a step forward towards the wizard.
Boom! 8 thunder damage.
8.
Mm-hmm.
As he lifts his sword to step and strike the wizard in front of him for dealing fire damage against him, the thunder explodes and the lights behind his eyes go dark and his body just crumples to the ground.
I immediately reach down and use my healing touch to give 1 HP to Hank.
It is Finnick's turn.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were out of combat. I'm sorry.
And he's on the floor, motionless, right?
Okay.
Right? I mean, so, and can I see any other combatants?
No.
Okay. I will fire a firebolt at his body.
Yeah, double tap.
Okay.
Double tap.
Yep. Absolute rage in my eyes.
Okay.
Does a 15 hit?
Yes. You are out of combat
Takes
now.
3 points of fire damage.
You are
So we're out of combat? Okay, so I immediately reach down, touch Hank, give him 1 HP, and then kind of impatiently look at Altus.
I'm going to walk over to Tempest, and I'm going to kneel down and cast Cure Wounds.
Go ahead and roll for it. And did we say Z was already healed, I believe?
I gave him 1, yeah.
Number 1.
While this is happening, I want to slowly go up to this gentleman and see if I can investigate and see what he has on him, why he had this weird magical aura.
While he's walking up, I messaged to him, be careful, he was an ice spirit.
Tempest, that's 12 HP back.
Thank you.
Can I get an investigation from Finnick?
Investigation 17.
The body almost immediately begins to decompose beyond what you would expect. It's as if it's been dead for months. The skin sinking in on the flesh, clinging to the bone, the soft tissues deteriorating rapidly until the eye sockets are nearly empty.
Quick, somebody take a picture with their phone.
Once it hits a point, it is still there, but that's it.
Yeah.
On his person, all you find is a purse with 50 silver pieces in it and 25 copper pieces, and no weaponry.
Who's our bank this time?
He
I
said
can do it.
He said 50 silver pieces, right?
Silver, 25 copper.
I was gonna say because we can just split the 50. We can just split it 5 ways. That's an easy. So 10 silver, 5 copper.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do I know, since he told me that it was an ice spirit, do I know if we just slowed the ice spirit down or if we actually stopped him? Because I know that he probably jumped to this body since his description was different before. I think you're muted.
Can I hear you?
Yeah, Coulter, I can't hear you.
As far as you can tell with what you've seen here, it is dead. There's like nothing left the body once it hit the ground.
Okay.
You haven't dealt with a lot of spirits, but from what you've seen, usually something else will change if they're still around, and nothing else changed.
So I walk up to my master, pull out the dagger I know he has on him, and start cutting off the hand.
Oh, yes, please take it. Do what you will. I don't know if this will be good enough evidence since we weren't necessarily looking for a human.
I toss my master the hand, and then I gesture for Tempest to grab the other side of the guy.
I help.
We take it over to the lake and just whoop. It's not the twins' first time disposing of a body.
Roll stealth.
Sure.
It's about 8 o'clock now.
19.
Dark though, right?
What?
But dark though, right?
Very dark, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody sees you throwing it into the lake because the docks are far enough away from the doors of the clam as far as how dark and lit it is outside, and the gas lamps here are close to the buildings. You're not really out on the docks. But you do see that the door is creaked open, and several people had heard the noises coming up from outside and were trying to figure out what was going on.
I will quickly put the hand in my bag.
All right.
I walk up, and if I need to use persuasion, I will, or I guess deception. And I go, "This man was wanted in Bryn Shander. Justice has been brought. Please go about your evening."
The door opens a little bit wider, and the people look at each other and close it.
Can I use perception to see if I can hear if they're like plotting or conspiring or anything, or if they're going to cause trouble? Do I hear any conversation from the other side of the door?
You probably wouldn't be able to hear through the door, but if you want to roll, my brain keeps saying Inception check, and that's not what it is. If you want to roll sense motive, yeah, insight, please. I'll take an insight roll.
Insight is 14.
They're just scared of you guys. There was a random dude in the bar buying people drinks, and you guys took him outside and killed him. So yeah, they're just scared.
I would just like to point out, I was kind of under the impression that this kind of stuff happens in 10 towns because we don't have like
it's
police
not
as much.
Like yes and no, but usually it's like a fight happens and somebody dies. It's not like things were totally normal and somebody gets dragged outside and murdered. Like that's pretty out there as far as things go. And you guys were right outside the tavern door, so they heard a lot of noise.
Yeah, but I mean, he did tell us he killed 3 people, so.
Yeah, they didn't hear that. They heard a lot of like spells going off and clanging of steel. And
Did we not tell you that Jake used thaumaturgy? So when he said that, it like boomed out to 300 feet. We didn't say that.
Oh yes. Sorry. Yeah.
Anyways, that's
now they're all totally fine with you guys. No. Yeah. So, what are you guys going to do next?
I think we should head straight back to Bryn Shander, right?
Yeah. Let's get the hell out of town.
Should we go inside and get the dogs? I'm not leaving without Eugene.
Oh, I just whistle and the dogs come out.
Yeah, you hear like scratching at the door and like barking, and then suddenly there's like a noise of a deadbolt opening, and the door flings open and the dogs go out, and one of the patrons leaps out and slams the door back shut as soon as the dogs are out of the way. Okay, so you're able to get back to Bryn Shander within roughly 3 hours. Like the roads here are very clean and it's all very close in this area, this part of 10 towns. None of the 10 towns that you guys know are that far apart, generally speaking, just because of the restraints of resources and whatnot. But it was fairly close together to get back. So you get back around 11 o'clock at night, and it's actually more visible now, you have more vision than you did earlier because above you, the greens and purples of the aurora are beginning to shine as they do roughly the same time every night. The sky lit up in nearly the same light that you would see during that midday twilight period as you come through the gates. Only a single guard up now.
But so as 10 towns natives, we kind of feel like the aurora is a bad thing, right? Like that's a sign of the curse of eternal winter, right?
It depends on how superstitious you are. People have different feelings about it.
Well, my master,
for the most part, everybody agrees.
I send one firebolt up to the aurora every night, just to say "fuck you."
That's what that is. You know, if you told me, I'd join you. I mean,
please, by all means, screw the Ice Maiden.
Finnick, I want you to know I appreciate that.
Mm.
Also, everybody, the 3 hours of travel, since the dogs do all of it, everyone could take a short rest. So, because I know some people are very low.
Thank
no
the
full
Lord.
rest, but you can get a short rest.
That's important to me as a warlock. I need all the short rests I can get.
I will say in the future, I don't think you'll ever have a full 8 hours on the dogs because they need a rest every hour just in order to keep going and not get exhaustion themselves. But you would never be able to get a full rest, but you can always get a short rest on these.
Yeah.
So you are back safely in Bryn Shander. In the middle of the night, the streets are basically as deserted as you left them. What's everybody doing?
I immediately go home and feed my dogs.
I would probably head towards the witch's teat and send out a message to our dwarven friend to see if we can get payment right away.
I would be joining Finnick, heading to the witch's teat.
Do we live like at the tavern? Like, is the house close by the tavern, or is it somewhere else?
It's somewhere else in town, I assume, because she just works there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so who's going to the tavern? Who's going home?
I'm going
Home.
to the tavern.
Tavern.
I'm going to go home because my dogs need to be fed. So
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the dogs.
So Z and Tranquil will head home. Everybody else will go to the tavern. As you get home, it's quiet. I mean, nothing's happened while you were gone. The dogs are excited to be in the warmth again once they get out from outside, all of them shaking the extra snow off of their fur as they go to hustle around your own fire, waiting for you to bring their food to them.
Ferris gives me just a hell of a time because Tempest always feeds her. And I'm like, she's not here, just eat. I don't want to hear it. Eat.
Like a long strand of drool comes down her face as she finally slowly digs into the food. The rest of you, as Altus, Finnick, and Tempest reach the tavern, it's much busier than it was earlier. There's
that dwarf is going to be pissed.
You can see the lights coming, from outside. The tavern itself is it's a little bit late for most of the town at this point, but it's not 10 a.m. So there's, I'd say the bar is a good half full.
Okay.
I walk in and immediately start helping, bussing, or go up to the bar to serve whatever's needed.
Yeah, your dwarfen coworker is very excited to see you and had not bussed almost any of the tables. Like it was
I'm on
too
it.
busy. It's like, oh, come back now.
I blow him a kiss.
So sweet.
This dwarf is going to be so confused. He's in love with both of the twins.
Or so Tranquil thinks.
Tranquil knows.
I'll pull together my 2 customary tavern tables and kind of set up shop to see if anyone needs magical stuff, and then probe out mentally with my message spell.
You don't even have to pull them together. They're right where you left them, and you see an elderly dwarven woman sitting in your chair with her feet up on the desk.
Okay. Is it our dwarf woman?
Yes.
Okay.
So, you given up yet, or are you still looking?
I'll pull out the hand and just drop it. You're in my seat.
She puts her feet down, slaps her knee. Well, you don't say. You're cut from the right cloth, son. And she gets up and she picks up the hand as if it wasn't what it is. Oh. Looks undead.
What you were dealing with was an ice spirit. He showed up for us in this human husk, and we took care of him.
Oh, Oriel, that bitch. Slaps the hand down. I was right. It was him all along.
Yes, he unapologetically told us right in the face, so...
Lynn, you still got it. Lynn, you still got it. And she takes the purse and she slaps it down on the table. I've been retired 3 years, and they told me I was crazy when I tried to bring this to the speakers, and I said no.
He also said that it was his job to fix anyone who has cheated death. Does that sound awry to you, or does that... It didn't sit well with me.
And it will visibly shake when you say that.
Well, that's what I was trying to... I've lost my Scottish and gone into Russian. I apologize.
Just think of Merida. Just think of Merida, Coulter. If you could change your fate, would you?
They tried to change their fate, didn't they? I apologize to any Scottish viewers. I mean no disrespect. Well, that's what I was trying to tell you to begin with. That I believe that they were folk that were all from towns that were trying to sacrifice their citizens, and based on the economic status of the people that had all died, I think they probably tried to cheat their way out of it. I didn't expect him to be she waves the hand around. Well, this quite, but fits the profile.
Well, if you have any other work for us, we would be more than happy to take it from you, and I'll shake the gold.
Well, I'll hope that 100 gold up here will do you for a while, but if I hear anything, this was a lot faster than I expected to see any of you. I thought you were going to have to run all over the countryside. If I known it was going to be this fast, I would have done it myself. And
yeah, it's pretty formidable. Do you like wine, by any chance?
I haven't had wine in probably 3 years since I moved up here.
Just your luck. I have one of the best bottles in 10 Town. Yours for 2 gold.
No one can judge Tranquil anymore.
I don't think any of us are trying
can.
to judge anyone else anymore.
She takes the bottle and she smells the cork. Goes, this was opened.
You caught me 1 gold piece. It was open so I could smell the aroma and see how good it was.
I'll give you this. You gave me a laugh, lad. And she slides the gold across and puts it back in her own bag.
Yes.
No gold left behind.
Drinks on me tonight.
I'll take you up on that. If there's anything you need from me, any magical items or things that you've lost that need to be found, I'm your man.
I avoid the arts, so to speak.
And if
she
you
pops open the cork and pours glasses in each of your flagons.
and if you need to be found yourself, I might offer my service. And I take a drink.
I've killed too many men to be bothered with any of that. Drinks her own. Refills.
Oh, God.
What would you like to do with the rest of your evenings?
I mean, probably go back to the tavern.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would sit up in my same position, getting progressively drunker. As I get drunker, I am trying to sell myself even more. Like, you need something. Come here, magical.
Every time that you start to make these propositions, Hun just finds them so funny. Like, she just this dwarven lady is just cackling to the side of your booth. She can't help herself. She's loving every moment of this. Like, oh, you keep me young, and she slaps you like on the shoulder. Go ahead.
As I drink more and more, she said drinks were on her, so I'm just going to start drinking. But the more and more I drink, I'm going to keep going to the bar, trying to get to the dwarf that is I'm assuming, like, bar back, helping out. If you want to talk, Tormund, I would love to hear your stories. I've got a few ideals myself. We could set aside an afternoon. And I just, like, hit my tankard, and I'm trying.
He looks over at Plynn, and she nods, and he goes, "Damn holy man." And refills your glass and sets it down.
Give me one afternoon. I've got you can read. I've got books for you.
As me and G walk back into the bar, I go, "Tormund!"
He says, as they're coming in, he says, I can't read.
I would love to help you even more. Come sit.
I'm very busy right now. When he walks down the bar to serve somebody else.
I'm gonna get to you one day.
Can I flick Altus's beer stein and cast Booming Blade on it?
Oh, okay. If you wanted Tormund to like you, this is not going to be a good start. Go ahead.
Altus's.
You're going to make a mess in his bar.
I'll clean it.
No, you won't.
My sister will clean it.
No, she won't.
Okay.
I message Tormund and say, I'm so sorry.
He looks up at you with just dwarven rage and pours another flagon.
He has to.
That's it.
I mean, Altus has to move the flagon, so he could sit there with it unmoving.
He pours another flagon and sets it down in front of Altus and goes back to serving.
I look at both flagons. Would I have seen, or do I know that Tranquil has entered the bar?
I just walked up next to you.
Okay, then I'm going to grab the new one and not touch the old one. And I'm going to keep drinking it.
Spell only lasts 6 seconds, so it's fine.
Well, I'll go back to that one as soon as I finish this one. And then every so often, I'm going to, Tormund, I want to help you. Let me help you.
Just give it a rest, man.
He doesn't acknowledge you now for a bit.
As soon as Z tells me to give it a rest, I immediately okay. And I slouch down, start drinking.
I, to not rise the ire of my sister at my attempted practical joke, start bussing tables, but dropping table scraps at my dogs who are in and out of my legs. That dropped another bone. Oh,
no.
There's a piece of that. Oh.
Shucks.
As the evening goes on and Plynn is getting drunker and drunker with you, Finnick, she starts to start talking about the 10 towns and where she's been and what she enjoys. And she starts to tell you weird goings on. It seems like she's pretty tapped into the world itself, like having picked up on what was happening and that she thought all of these murders were connected. She's also paid attention to a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
So roll a d10.
Also, just to be clear, I go immediately to master and get my 20 gold pieces.
When you come to me, I roll up my scroll before I give it to you, and I'll smack you on the head. And I'll say, "You casted Booming Blade wrong again."
There's no wrong way to cast that spell.
I'll smack him again for the insolence, and then I'll give him the 20 gold.
I'm so into this.
If I had hair, you would be sorry.
From the bar, but you don't.
I kind of shake my hair.
I got a 20. Or, sorry, a 2, not a 20.
It's a d10. How did that happen?
Well, I rolled the D100 thing. Yeah.
Oh, well, you heard what all's going on in Brenchander, haven't you?
We like to keep mostly to ourselves here. Please enlighten me.
There's a group of dwarves that have lost their ingots. I don't know how they displace the damn things, but apparently they're looking to play gold for someone to go find them. I mean, I'm just saying, it seems like an easy job to me. You leave an ingot one place. It's not like it's going to move and get up on its own and walk away. And she finishes another flagon and waves it in the air for the barmaid.
And we're sure that ingots isn't a euphemism of some kind.
Oh, dwarves do not use euphemisms when it comes to iron.
Fair enough.
Roll
And
a
you think
D10.
that...
Tranquil. If you join the conversation.
I probably would have joined too, just for...
I mean, if it's as easy a gold as we picked up from the last job you gave us, then that's something that we're definitely willing to...
Do I roll again? I rolled another...
You rolled a 2?
Yeah. Do I roll again?
All
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it depends on how stupid they are. You know, I mean, if they left them out in the snow, they might just be covered in a drift, and God knows when you're going to find that. 4?
That would be hilarious.
But, I mean, at least it's not quite as bad as what's going on in the cars. The cars.
Hey, Tempest, can we get some water down here? Maybe some stew?
I do love a good
She needs some
mispronunciation. Well, if you go
What's
up
going?
north into those little places, you know, on the lake, and the small lake where it's all frozen over, they're not getting much traffic these days. I hear that the speaker's gone missing.
Oh.
Town without the speaker, even that size, not a good sign. Not a good sign. Taken ill.
They lost a whole speaker?
A whole speaker. Yeah.
Wow.
Waiting for them to enact a new one, but I mean, you know, Targos is trying to get all the speakers, so that's a start on that.
And you say both of these jobs pay.
Well, I know that the dwarves are looking to pay for something. I have no idea what's going on in the Kyres.
Finnick, why do I deliver mail when we can just find stuff in the snow and make money? Why did you never tell us that we could just go kill people in Tourmaline and make money?
Killing people is wrong unless they give you enough gold.
And to be honest, he did admit to killing 3 people.
For that, she pulls her personal flask out of her side pocket and pours it into your flagon.
Do you know much goes on outside of 10 towns?
Well, as far as I know, as far as I've been up here, nothing.
Have you heard
It's hard to get anywhere outside here.
Of the Tiger tribe at all? Have they been near the cities?
The Raggeds.
Why do you care about those barbarians, Finnick?
Just a question.
There's something weird going on with the Druids, with some sort of expedition out of Targos, but I don't know if it was connected or not.
Wait, druids are real?
Goliath?
Yeah.
Yaminartok. Yaminartok. She has to say it like 3 times to get
a bit more sober and look at her.
But that's the closest things to a barbarian that I've heard of is the Goliath.
Yaminartok is in where?
Oh no, there is a group out of Targos that I think went to hunt him, something like that. They went to find him, hunt him, find him something. Turns into a polar bear apparently. Tough bloke. He's up on Kelvin's. Kelvin's now though. From what I heard from the rumors in Targos, they never came back. So who knows?
That would make sense.
But that's the closest thing I've heard to a barbarian coming down to the 10 towns.
So these dwarves with these ingots, like, where do they hang out?
I can probably find him for you, but it's a little late, don't you think?
I mean, I barely sleep. This one, he's freezing cold. Like, sleeping next to this one is like sleeping next to an ice cube that's been wrapped in snow and then, like, left outside for a day.
I recommend some whiskey for that.
Oh,
No,
it doesn't work.
No, he's cold-blooded. There's, like, just no heat coming out of him.
Then you clearly haven't tried enough whiskey.
Tempest whiskey!
I like you.
What are you getting us into now?
I'm just trying to warm up my boyfriend.
I'll admit, you young folk, I'm feeling a little tired. I might have to call it in. You folk, I could drink you under the table, but I would like to get a nap in before the morn.
You have a place to stay? Because I have a wonderful settee at home that comes with 3 very fluffy blankets.
Oh dear, trust me, I got a nicer place than you. And she takes her axe and swings it back over her shoulder and tightens it down. But I like this place. I think I'll be back around. Good company. And she gets her coat on.
I just find you super maternal. As she walks away.
she yells to Tormund behind the bar, "Keep the tab open, but only for these 5." And sees herself out.
Wow.
So, I guess we could see if we can find some ingots for some dwarves and hopefully get more money.
I like
what
it.
does everyone else think?
Babe, there's still more whiskey. Come on.
I haven't stopped drinking. You don't have to tell me to keep going.
I was gonna say, have I left the bar at all, or am I still just like slamming mead and patronizing?
I don't think you joined them, so I think you might still just be slamming
feet behind the bar.
I assume Tempest had walked back and forth, but that is up to her.
Yeah, I've been in and out.
Tranquil doesn't really drink, but because I have it in my head that being celestial, he can't really get drunk. Like his body just passes through him. So he's really upset about that as well. But he approaches his Tempest and is like, so we got word on a job. There's some dwarves looking for ingots. So we're thinking we're going to do that first thing in the morning. If you can cut out early, we don't want to stay up too late.
I'll make it work. I hate to leave Tormund alone again.
Wouldn't be the first time.
And it won't be the last.
I plant another kiss on Tormund's forehead. It's like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You know you love us.
Does a 14 hit?
14 hit what?
Your AC?
No, it slaps against my mage armor.
She swings a pewter flagon up, and it bounces off the mage armor, and he just continues the swing over and fills it from the tap.
Oh, watch yourself. You're getting sloppy there, Tormund. I grab G around the arm, and I'm like, well, we're heading home, sweetie. Bring the whiskey.
I It's already in my bag. Come on. This is my
Can I get a
first time.
sleight of hand?
Where's my whiskey?
I would just like to point out that it's an open tab, so bottle of whiskey, just throw it on the tab.
19?
Okay, it's not going on the tab.
Yeah. Hey, I'm chaotic neutral. I'm drunk. It's fine.
Good night.
While my other two dogs come with me, Ferris goes and like curls up behind the bar to where she can watch Tempest.
Are we sure Eugene goes so willingly? I'm still at the bar.
Yeah, Eugene listens to me.
Finnick, Altus, and Tempest, what are you doing while those two go to bed?
I'm going to finish working the night, however late the bar is open.
They're up until 2 here, generally. It does slow down at this point because you guys have been here for a couple hours already. We're approaching 1 o'clock. It's mostly clearing out.
I'm gonna drunkenly, Tempest, do you need any help? I'm still here. You may have to order more. How do I help you?
I will like cozy myself into the chair I'm in and just like think about the party of 3 people that they probably sent up to attack my druid friend and just laugh that they're never coming back. And then I will drift off to sleep, curled up on the chair.
Does this happen often?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I'll just fireman carry you home later, I guess.
I love it.
As Finnick falls asleep and Tempest carries him home with Altus at her side, our couple cozy in bed already, the ice cube feet and whatnot. I think
the whiskey did not help.
We'll call it an evening tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, fingers crossed. If you have any questions or comments on what happened tonight, let us know. We will have a post-campaign conversation that we'll post somewhere eventually and keep you all posted on. And we will come up with a tagline eventually.
Eventually.